to The Change Guru. This is a place where we have a weekly conversation about all things midlife. And this week I want to share with you one thing that completely changed my life after 40. And it's actually a combination of a couple of the most frequently asked questions that I get in my work with women over 40. And I've lived them both, so I've got something to say about them. The first thing is, help, I'm in my mid-40s and my job completely sucks. I'm, about to be laid off, or I just want to quit. I need something new. That's the first thing. And the second thing is it too late for me to go back to school? These are very, very connected questions that I'm often asked, but I've also personally lived them. So I want to share what I think about that. And the one thing that absolutely changed my life after 40 is that I went back to school. I was in a job for a lot of years, and it was just slowly going to a place where I just could not see a light at the end of the tunnel. I was really starting to hate it, but I couldn't think of what else to do with my life. I'd been in the same job for years and years and years. I didn't know what to do. The only thing I could think of was to go back to school. And the thing is, I never thought that was a very good idea. I'd spent a lot of my career kind of in ego mode, thinking I didn't need to know anything. I didn't need to learn anything. I knew it all. And so this was a very humbling moment for me to say, hey, I think I need to go back to the drawing board and learn something in an area that I'm passionate about, and we'll just see what happens from there. So I kept on going with my job, but then I also went back to traditional university, going back to school. Well, that completely changed my world in so many ways. Number one, it helped me transition to a completely different career. Number two, it showed me that there are so many different ways to learn. And number three, it kind of showed me that as a society, we're a little bit screwed up when it comes to our ideas about education. Most of us that are over 40, I'm going to go lower, say over 30, kind of have been brought up in this very traditional idea that we are kind of finished with our education after a certain age, say after we graduate from college. And after that, we're supposed to have our stuff together and just know it all and go on and on. We are learning now that you absolutely must stay a lifelong learner to be viable in our changing economy, to stay connected with all the technology that's going on. And they also have proof that our brains have neuroplasticity, where the brain's creating new neurons and new fibers. And it's just like being at a brain gym. Your brain needs to constantly be challenged.
What happens is thoughts or activities that you do with your brain actually turn certain genes on and others off inside the nerve cells, which then make proteins, which then change the structure.
Merely for health reasons alone, it's important for us to learn. But society kind of tends to think that, we're doing something silly if we're older and learning. And I absolutely got that kind of feedback from people that I know that would make fun of me being a student or joke about it. And what can you do? It's like everything in life, other people's opinions.
That's none of my business.
So just know that you might get a little bit of pushback on your idea about going back to school. You don't have to go back to a traditional university. There are so many different ways to learn, some that don't even cost anything, some that you can immediately start right now. And I've written a blog post with piles of ideas of ways that you can start learning right now in a bunch of different fields. If you go to my website at thechangeguru.net, and I'll put a link on the description below, you're going to get so many ideas of ways to start moving in the path of learning. This is the time to learn. Learning will help to put you on new adventures. It raises the bar of the people that you learn from and associate with, and I absolutely believe it's a lifesaver for us, because you know what, if you think technology is really changing and crazy right now.
No, look at the monkey.
Did it capture? Why did it didn't say? I put it on capture.
Imagine 20 years from now what things will be like by keeping our minds plugged in, fresh, healthy, constantly willing to be challenged. We'll be able to handle and ride right along with whatever is happening 20 years from now. So my advice, if you are stuck in a career that you no longer like, that no longer fits you, and you're just wondering what are you going to do for the next half of your life, and you're wondering if you should go back to school, my answer is yes, going back to school and committing to be a lifelong learner. I commit to being a lifelong learner. I will be in school for the rest of my life proudly. This is your ticket. Going back to school will literally save your life in so many ways. So come over to my website, thechangeguru.net, for lots of different ideas on what going back to school looks like right now. It's completely different than what we thought it was like when we were 18 years old. Hey, now I've got a question for you. Have you gone back to school? What are you doing? I would really love to know what you're doing and what the experience is like for you. Please post a comment below. I'd love to hear it. And you know what? I've got a new newsletter. If you go to thechangeguru.net, it comes out just about every single week. It's full of awesome advice that I only am going to give out on email. So I would love you to be a part of my inner circle. All right, hey, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a great week, and go to my blog right now so you can start becoming a lifelong learner. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next week.